Anyone in the front row have an estimate of how large this was? We can get lasers on the way out, but do we catch them on the way in?
It'd be hard because they're on a different plane in the background, but
yeah,
and try to match it up maybe with the coral.
I mean, typical egg case is what, a couple inches?
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 centimeters. We estimate right now, but we can get lasers on that when we pull out.
Okay.
You would think this is kind of an exhausting dance. It does, but
I wonder if it's just because of the lights.
yeah,
There has to be some stimuli.
Big heave.
It's dark down there.
well, I wonder too if yeah, I don't know much about the chondrichthyan
And how do they
anatomy and
release
biology.
themselves? Do they go out from the top, or do they eat part of the egg case? And
Yeah, I always see them bursted open along the sides,
The sides.
and along the bottom.
Okay, video. I think we've got some time here. I'm happy when you are. Yep. There's the lasers. They're on the wall behind. Come out a little bit more.
so about 8 in length.
It's hard to tell just because
Hey,
there it is.
very
when you
thin, right?
get to touch the coral. I'm just trying to get to touch.
Yeah. It's about, no,
Yeah.
maybe about 6 in length.
yeah,
Now
5
if
to
you
6
rotate it,
centimeters,
slightly go
maybe.
down a little bit.
Just so you know, the lasers are on a wall, maybe 2 feet behind this,
Yeah,
so it looks larger than it is. I'm gonna stick with
estimate
the,
3 to
4 to
If you go a
3 to
little bit,
5
you might get the
centimeters.
left one
Yeah.
too.
in
That's
that
a good
range.
estimate.
Okay. Well, video satisfied. We are satisfied as well.
Awesome.
Okay. Turn off the high beams.
Yep.
Should I bring your lower arm back out?
Yeah.
Hopefully, it has a
Make sure you go
fantastic
outboard with
berth.
it.
Outboard first.
Great.
I'm not sure of the gestational period of these sharks, but it could be several more weeks to months, depending on how early on it is. Things happen pretty slowly here at these depths. It's quite cold. Although, relatively speaking, it's 18, almost 19 degrees C, so it's not too cold.
Coming up.
Okay.
Down the Explorer, this is the drill, this is the drill, this is the drill. This is a muster-only drill, muster-only drill. All hands, report your fire emergency station, report your muster. This is the drill.
Can we take a look at these yellow fan here? A lot of these whips look like they might be similar to the one that was attached to the
Sorry with that.
that the egg case was attached to, but this yellow fan is interesting here. Got to keep an eye on our depth too. We're at 260.
So we should be quite close to the top of this.
Okay. Got some time with the lasers. Come on in, video.
This one looks like another octocoral fan here. It's not one I'm immediately familiar with. It's definitely more likely a shallow water or shallower water species. Definitely an octocoral. Definitely quite thick too. The base and axis are quite thick. Polyps are very small.
looks like there's a small little shrimp.
Any associates on here?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Very small shrimp. Walking
Two
along
of
the
them
colony.
even.
Okay. Thanks, pilot.
Yep. Full specimen. I'll pick up a little for you so you can get it. There you are. A little stable. Thanks.
There's actually right there a shell at close to 6 o'clock. Can we take a zoom?
Yeah. Just almost off screen now.
Yeah.
Lasers back on. Can pretty much leave them for a little while.
Okay.
We'll zoom past them mostly.
I wonder if these coils are actually, can't tell if they're black corals or elacelids.
Okay,
This
video.
one right in front of us looks of
Come on
as
in.
a very clearly black skeleton.
Oh, it's a hermit crab, maybe.
Not sure if it's still alive, but this is a slit shell, right?
Yep, that's a slit shell.
You can see the slit on the side of the shell.
We've seen them over a pretty decent depth range.
Yeah.
It looks very similar to the ones we've seen, but I think we've seen them down in excess of 1,000 meters as well, so they have quite the depth range. If not the same species, then perhaps the same genus at least. All right, thanks, pilot.
Yep.
Yeah, some of these you could see like the dark skeleton, like they could be black corals.
Yeah. I should get a zoom on one of these when it's possible. One of these coils,
Sure.
probably the end of the end of the colony rather than the base,
Okay.
might be more informative.
See if I can do sort of looking up at one. The dark behind it will give you a little more contrast. You'll have a better chance of getting some detail. There's a good candidate right there.
Such a weird landscape. It's almost Seussian.
Yeah. Is that a technical term?
Oh, there's a fish.
Go to the fish first if I need to.
Where's the fish?
It's right at the lower right-hand corner. It's off screen right now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's coming towards us. Do you see?
Yeah, the little guy.
Yeah.
Is that a shrimp, maybe?
Is it a shrimp?
Can't tell. Snap in video. Okay. Oh yeah. It's just upside down, or I can only see, we can see its belly right now. Come in. Oh, it's snuck away.
Yeah, I think it went behind the rock.
I'll come around and see if we can get it in sight for you. You're good where you are, video. That was all right. When you see it, feel free to go in. Or if you see it. There it is. Top screen. Come on in. Interesting swimming pattern. Head down.
Has a fork tail.
It's tough. We're seeing the underside now, and it's difficult to see some of the distinguishing characteristics.
He'll turn for us, it looks like.
Could that be a young queen? Or something else?
Is this the epigonus? Or are those different?
It looks different.
Let's sneak back in, video, light it up.
They didn't have a very sharp forked tail, I think.
Now try to stabilize, pick up a little.
I'm not sure.
Coming in hot. Sorry.
When we pull away, can we place some lasers? Okay, the lasers, yeah.
About 10 centimeters.
Yeah.
Oh, they were just trying to get a shot with the laser, sorry. Okay, I'm coming out of here. At the end of where I can go. Alright, let's find some more of those big whips sticking out for us to get a good shot in the darkness of. Here's one. We'll do it from here. Let me just stabilize real quick. Okay, you can start in. I'll come up a little, see if I can light it up. There's some light. Okay, hanging out here. Looking up.
I think they're octocoral, yeah. I was going to say octocoral.
Yeah, it's very, very reminiscent of the elliselids we were seeing earlier in the dive, but, earlier in the expedition we saw a number of them, but I'm afraid we're so shallow that we'll have to get some better information on these. We collected one that, let's see, it could have been like this, but these are much more, much longer colonies, much larger colonies than the ellicelid whip we collected
Just wait till it
a
gets
while
back
ago.
on the light. Do you need another look at it, watch lead?
I think we're okay there.
Oh, okay. I got a little close. It was kind of dark. But
These are very common on mesophotoglyphs.
Oh,
We see them, yeah.
The exact same?
Yeah,
Okay.
we see them a lot.
So we're kind of broaching the lower end of the mesophotic coral range, I suppose.
okay.
And our depth now is still 260. We have about 10 meters
We have a little schmutz in the
to
camera
climb
there
before
now.
we're limited.
So that looks like a shadow on the bottom. Something stuck to the camera. Take a peek in here for any fish. We're approaching 255 meter depth.
Do you want to do another short 10-meter jump forward, and then we'll start lateraling?
Yeah, that
Okay.
sounds good.
Let's do that.
Oh, there's a fish.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
that
I
way in
see
the
it.
background there. You can take a snap from here, video, see if we can get an idea what it is.
It's one of those big eye soldier fish. They're pretty common along this dive.
There's a bunch of cup corals on that, just above that fish.
Oh, yeah.
Very dense. Very small though, maybe 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters in height at most.
Looks like there's a couple other branching corals.
Yeah,
They're different.
this is the kind of the twilight zone
Okay.
for
We got plenty of that
corals. You get a lot of
earlier.
overlapping range distributions in this area.
Terribly interested. My swimmer's getting close to stuff.
Oh, look at these
Back up.
branches.
Those look like
Right
black
at-
corals.
Yeah, right at 6 o'clock. There's also some black branching black corals, possibly. They're like in fan shape.
Moving 4 o'clock now with the lasers. 3 o'clock off to the right-hand side.
And there's like a
Yeah, yes.
ginormous sea star on
To
the
right.
rock.
Yep.
Did you see it?
I didn't see the sea star. No.
It's up off. It's huge.
We'll get there.
Just right.
Some area
below the
or
lasers now.
like that?
No, it's
Different?
yeah. Well,
No.
I only got
using him as a
a
reference.
quick shot of it, but it looked really
I would've
big.
turned,
I'm sure there's
frame.
lots of
Okay.
delicious mollusks and things to prey on these rocky surfaces.
Yeah, video, come on in.
So these are possible black corals we were zooming in on. There's 2 fans here. They look different than what we've seen previously.
Back up a little bit.
It's incredible how quickly we've transitioned from sponge to stylastrid to coral in the past maybe 30 meters of water depth,
Yeah.
probably associated with the higher currents that are experienced up higher on these features.
Is there something in particular you're looking for on this?
I'm just looking
Copper
through my
bridge,
guide, but
move
I think we've
complete.
got good imagery on that. I'll try and give you an ID in a moment.
Great. Okay, video. Come on out. It's kind of off in the wrong direction. Back around.
Tough to sell. It's tough to say. Could be a lot of pathies, but I'm not confident on that identification at the moment.
There's a sea star that's gonna show up in the screen. It's to the right.
To the right.
Yeah, it looked pretty big. Oh no, that's something else. That is on the rock. Maybe a sponge.
Okay.
Okay, we're at
252. Sneaking over there. I think I have some tether.
yeah, you should have plenty actually.
Go out there. I put it on
Follow
a
you
depth so I
around.
don't go where I'm not supposed to. We can snap in for ID. Okay, a little tilt down.
Yeah, I think we were seeing these sponges yesterday and a little bit deeper. Yesterday they formed like this table shape, something similar to what we're seeing right now, but they were a lot more lifted above the seafloor.
This one looks a little bit more freeform. I think the last ones we saw were pretty concentric.
Yeah.
Full wide video. Just gonna do a little seat swap here.
Well, we've got 2 more meters of play here before we're at our limit, and then we're just going to track due northwest, west and northwest along this feature around the 250 meter isobath.
Can you guys hear me right there?
Yep.
Yep.
You like your swing arms out like that? This is a good spot to swing them in if you are uncomfortable in the
Yeah,
good
probably
stuff.
like bring them in a little bit.
So it's still highly rugose here in this.
Where do you want your
I was
uppers?
expecting kind of like this
Maybe
nice
a little bit
smooth
back as well.
feature.
Yeah, compared
Yeah.
to what we
So
saw the
I
other
just
day.
don't have to be
Yeah.
super worried about them.
But that's good. We'll take it.
So you can
Yeah, this tight
push the
has
lowers
been
slightly
totally
stow,
surprising
and then you can push the
with the amount of
uppers.
corals and sponges.
Actually, the port side
And
of the
fish.
lower looks okay. Just match the starboard to that.
Okay.
Oh,
So more or less the plan for the afternoon is we will
that?
continue
more.
to track along the
So it's
250
about
meter
45
isobath
maybe.
towards the west and then towards the northwest as we follow around the
That's probably pretty
lip
good.
of
Yep.
this feature.
And then you're going to want to
We're pretty
deploy
much at the
uppers
crest where we would expect to find
and just go until they stop.
larger fishes
bit more out of
that
the way.
we've been told congregate around the edges of these features.
All the way back.
Yeah, until they stop. And that way he's got room to navigate around without bonking them.
Sounds good.
Y buenas tardes y gracias por acompañarnos hoy.
Follow you around.
Este es el
Okay.
Okeanos Explorer. Mi nombre es Stacy Williams y
Not
estoy
sure
con
what our
Steve
heading is to
Vaskovich.
the waypoint 3, but
Estamos buceando en un
Waypoint 3 all the way over
sitio
there at these,
oeste de
depths.
la isla de
Yeah, so what we're
Desecheo.
going to want to do is use
El
the
nombre
sonars
es
to follow the
Pichincho.
contour that we're
Es un
currently at.
pared
Um,
en el lado
rough
de
bearing, it's about here.
este de
Select
este sitio, y ahora vimos
274,
muchos corales
275, exactly.
y
5 degrees
corales blandos
north of west
y
from
también
where
duros.
you are.
Colectamos un coral
But
duro
we'll just use the sonars to
y una
determine
esponja.
your guys' direction.
okay.
We'll want to keep you
Estamos
off the wall.
buscando
So what I
las
suggest
comunidades
you do
de los peces
is,
en
if we're
aguas
moving
profundas
mostly
como
west, what you're gonna wanna do is
chillos
look around northwest,
y meros.
keep him in view, but keep the
Vimos
forward way.
chillo
forward path in view
de
as well.
ojo amarillo
So you're going to end up facing
y también
315,
vimos pasile
but we'll be moving
cartuchos
275.
y guasas.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then we can use, see how they have those red, that red
El objetivo de
there.
hoy es para
You have a mouse
caracterizar
here,
los
so you can
hábitats
drag
de estos
and you can try
peces,
to run them across what you think
porque
is
no
the
hay
wall face.
Oh,
no
gotcha.
hay
something like
Okay.
mucha
And give you a
información
general
sobre los hábitats y
based
qué
on your
comen.
Okay.
Do a little quick math, and we can figure out which way the wall
So,
is.
esta información
Move you
va a
guys along
ayudar
that.
manejo.
And if you feel like you're a little close to the wall, we can cheat by a few degrees away. If you feel like you're a little far, we can cheat a few degrees in. We'll just wiggle along like that. So, you line up
Ahora
at 315.
estamos a la profundidad
See those
de
port.
253 metros. Empezamos a la profundidad de 365 metros.
This particular site for the past, I'd say 50 meters of vertical we've been transiting over has
Expect
been
this to be roughly
dominated
45
by
degrees.
stony and stelastrid corals.
Okay.
There is a crab, very large crab on the
Actually, we
9
probably could
o'clock.
do a jump in
Oh,
the
yeah.
315 direction. Since
You
Do you want to take a look at
I
that
don't
crab?
want you to be over
Watch the-
top of it
Yep.
too much.
Can we take a look at the
I want-
crab?
I want you to be
Copy.
behind him like this. So we'll just move along the wall with him. We can sneak in a couple degrees, but I don't think you want to just chase them at 315.
Okay. Just worried about him getting too far out.
Yeah. We'll get moving soon.
Oh, it just released himself. It's going skydiving. That's a great escape move.
Yeah.
Just
lands on
release
his feet,
yourself.
too.
Yeah, release yourself.
Base jumpers.
Yeah, it's a
Totally
base
fine.
jumper.
Okay, I'll give you 15.
Now, I've always
Yeah,
wondered,
at
seeing these
27,
crabs in these
5
really
then.
precarious
We'll move
positions,
that way.
and I always wondered what would happen if
yeah,
they
I'll
fell.
start 275.
Well,
so that
there you
goes.
go.
And now I know.
Do you wanna?
Good
zoom
thing it
in
wasn't
from
too
here,
far of a
maybe?
distance.
Right there. Hold there.
Bridge nav.
Certainly better than using the stairs.
Yeah, ship move, please. We'll do 5
So
meters.
actually, it looks
bearing
like it's missing
275 degrees. Speed
One or
decimal
two
Is that
walking
full zoom?
legs on the
Ah, yeah.
right-hand side of its body.
Yeah, looks like 2 maybe.
Maybe that was a figure
Okay.
of a previous
So
fall.
just bring it up a little bit.
Or he knows
It's
from
definitely
experience
clear
that he
for
should
it,
just
so
jump.
I can always,
Just jump.
Can come in.
Yeah.
Just glance over to make sure it's clear. And then,
It's not worth
turn
it
back
to
over.
climb all the way down.
Yeah, and your sonar will assist in that as well.
Sure. Yeah, it's completely.
Plus, he's leading the way.
I
in
think
that
we saw
direction,
one of
so
these
that'll help
earlier.
as well.
It was redder and paler
Oh, doesn't seem to
both
mind.
in coloration. So redder on the legs
All
and
right.
paler on
Video
the
whenever you're
carapace.
good.
Watch your starboard lower.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tilting up.
Can we zoom at 1 o'clock now? There's a large white coral colony. I tried to pick it out from the rest. Directly 12 o'clock right now, midway up the screen.
Copy.
It looks a little bit different. I just wanted to make sure we're still looking at the same diversity of colonies here. I was thinking this one might be a little bit different than some of the other ones. Maybe it's just bigger. I'm not sure.
Oh, there's a fish.
Oh.
That's okay.
It looks like a boarfish.
Okay, let's come in video.
Can do a quick snap on this and then move to the fish. Yeah,
Hold right there.
looks like more madrasas here. Okay, thanks, pilot. That's all we need.
There's also a fish at 11 o'clock, pilot. We saw, is this the boarfish? Yeah.
Yeah, this is a boarfish.
So the fishermen say that the boarfish, when they're around, the snappers do not like to, like the queen snappers do not like to come around because the boarfish don't let them eat. They don't seem like very aggressive looking fish, but
Yeah. It's not like you invaded a nest of sergeant majors or something.
or damselfish.
Yeah.
Damselfish are
They're pretty
wicked
voracious.
little,
Yeah.
wicked little fish. So the boarfish we saw yesterday didn't have this striation along its body.
Yeah,
It was-
I wonder if it's some sort of variable or time of the day, because one of the boarfishes we saw on dive 1, which is in this depth range, that it did look like it had bands, but I recall it having more bands. So I'm not sure if it's a variable characteristic.
Or maybe it's a different type of boarfish.
A lot of black corals here. we've moved from the sponge to the stylastrid to the mixed coral zone very quickly over this 100-meter climb. And I think, well, we're kind of just going along here at the 250-meter isobath, and we've seen some fishes. They've been dive bombing and darting from above and below. Did we actually confirm that we did see a queen today?
Well, the one that we thought we saw, our shoreside scientists didn't get a chance to get a view, so maybe we could clip it out later. Yes, thank you, Violet. I believe it was a small queen, but not too sure. And also, when we were descending today, we saw a relatively large school of snappers that we don't know if they're silk or queen snappers. They were about 200 meters.
So this is overall some pretty phenomenal topography.
Muster is complete. Muster is complete. Closest point of land, Isla Desecheo, bearing 0872, 086 magnetic. Distance 15. Nearby vessel.
Ah, there's a fish might be another, looks like another boarfish up there at 11 o'clock.
Way in the distance.
Yeah, in the distance.
I thought I
saw a big one, yeah. Right.
Saw a tail go off to the left.
There's a bigger one right to the left. Yeah, if we could get a snap zoom. Oh, there's two.
Well, let's see what this interaction is like if this boarfish starts chomping down on the snappers. It seems pretty benign at the moment.
I think these are orange roughies. Are they? Or are they snappers?
They look pretty friendly. It's definitely not a... Doesn't look like a snapper.
No, it has too big of a... Looks like it has the mouth formation of a roughy, but it's not the roughies that we've been seeing.
That little cave, I bet, is full of fish.
Could we get also lasers when it's possible?
So we're estimating here maybe 30 centimeters, a little bit over 30 centimeters on this larger of the two fishes.
This is a bulleye. Oh, do you see how it changed colors? That one's much
darker.
Pinker, yeah, and that one's has a clearer color. Oh, there's some more fish, and yeah, right there between the two rocks.
You can just see inside
yeah.
that.
Looks like one of those soldier fish, big eye soldier.
Yeah, another ship move, please.
So
We'll do
is
20
Ricardo on the line?
meters,
Or has he
bearing
been today?
275 degrees.
I
speed decimal
don't
2
know.
knots.
He was on the line earlier.
I was curious if these other large fishes we've been seeing are potential catch species, or if they would even
Good
take
copy.
a hook
Thank you, Bridge.
in this using the long line method.
Michelle says they're also consumed.
Excellent. Yeah, look, they just changed color, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta move. I did 20 meters. Is that you plenty? Yeah, at 250.
Yeah, we've been seeing this fish, so we could pass.
Just warning, you're at 250. It's on your starboard manip, a little ways off now.
There's a snapper. Looks like a silk snapper.
Keep an eye on the debris there. Doesn't look like there's any lines associated. Yeah, seemed like it.
Looks like some cloth or material.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rich.
Sea Star. We see this?
Oh,
Sea Star at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock. Just a snap soon may be sufficient because I think we might have seen this one before, but it looks larger than the ones we've seen previously.
Contour is pretty much dead on, huh?
Looks like another Temeria. Okay. This one's very warty, actually. Can we take a little bit of a
true. It might do
closer
a little-
look? Yeah. I think it's just the
okay, you can go
contrast.
deeper.
Those plates on the back of
For
the
that
body
second,
just
go
have
back
a
up.
ring around them,
Needs
so
to.
they just look more prominent. Huh. Okay. Thanks.
It's a cool star. .275 still looks good. What do you think?
So for folks on shore, we're sitting at our minimum depth for the dive today, 250 meters. We can't quite go upslope from here, so we can just follow along to the west, this feature.
Yeah, science has requested the opposite, so we'll come to a conclusion tonight. We'll discuss it.
Hey, Steve, this is Chris Ma.
Oh, hi, Chris Ma.
Hey, just thought I would toss in a quick name for you.
Okay.
That warty sea star you just saw is called Lynchia nodosa, and it's in the same family as Temeria, but it's a different group altogether. You'll see a lot of sort of the deep water Ophidiastrids in this depth range. They're, I think, a lot like your corals you had mentioned earlier on. They're kind of the lower end of the mesophotic zone. All these transitional shallow water types of animals that, for whatever reason, are at the lower end range of their depth. So Lynchia is a really widely known sort of shallow water genus of Ophidiastrid sea star. So you'll see them in the Atlantic and the Pacific, and for some reason the Atlantic has a bunch of deep water ones, and this is one of them.
Probably
It's
get
very
another movie.
interesting with all of the weird warty nodules and such. So anyway,
Bridge,
that's
Nat.
my 10 cents. Thanks for stopping and taking a look
same
at it.
move as
Yeah,
last.
absolutely. Thanks
20
for clarifying that.
275 degrees.
No worries. Always happy to
0.3
help.
knots.
I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Good copy. Thank you, Bridge. So we noticed on the contours that this here pilot does go a little deeper for a second, or the contour goes away from you. So in this section, rather than stretch out really far, just drop your depth down to like 253 or 25, whatever it takes to stay in it. Should be shallower than this is 2.6 here, so it should be between 2.5 and 2.6 that you're living. Just sneak along in there and then come back up as you go waypoint 3.
Pilot, this is Watchley. There's a crab right in like 6 o'clock. This is it. It's not the one that doesn't look like the one that jumped.
It looks so similar.
Looks similar, but looks a little bit chunkier. I don't know if maybe this is just bigger.
I think it might be just the angle we're viewing it at. There's more carapace in the foreground. Yeah, a lot of cup corals. That's a weird fan there. Can we zoom on the fan in the same time, because it's bronze base, but it's got very white branch tips. Never seen kind of this two-tone coloration in octocoral fans like this. Curious if that's what it is. Can we zoom on the... Yeah, wow. It's really going on. So we'd like to collect both of those. No, I'm kidding.
He really wants to be in the picture.
Yeah, really. That would be a great associate on that coral, but I think it's going to jump.
These are jumpers.
Yeah, we haven't seen, very rare occasions do larger crabs find their way to the tops of corals, but this is kind of ridiculous. Some squat lobsters are pretty big, but this
Whoa!
He realized his mistake.
Yeah.
This is the end of the line.
He's regretting it. Looks like it has eggs.
Cat stuck in the tree.
She has eggs. Has like a pouch of eggs.
Pouch of eggs underneath?
Yeah, underneath.
Yeah, that coral is very weird in that. Can we resume on the white portion of the tips? I mean, I'm going to say that a lot because I think that these aren't things we typically see in the deep sea, but
for the move.
two-tone colorations are unusual. I mean, if you see them in the plexaurids, sometimes you might see blues and greens, but white and red or white and brown is a bit unusual. This one is difficult to tell. It could be
I'm not trying to keep you
an elisellid,
keep an eye on things.
maybe like Nacella. The white portion of the colony looks very much Nacella-like. But I've never seen this bronze coloration before in this genus, if that's what it is. All right. Thanks, pilot.
Yeah, so as he goes a little deeper, co-pilot, you'll have to as well.
Okay.
He's in that section now where you might have to drop a few meters to stay with the nice setup.
Gotcha. So
which is okay.
So I'm still rotated a little bit to my starboard, but as you come over, I'll follow you over and let you know.
So far, we've collected 2 specimens on our dive today. We've collected a
315
stony branching coral colony, a colonial coral. And we've also collected a small bit of sponge that was a little mysterious to us. It was a red rusty sponge, possibly creating a structure that we were not able to identify. So we snipped off the bit of that and collected a bit of stony coral material to identify later in the lab.
If you look at this, the overall coral coverage of this area is really impressive. We haven't seen this so far on this expedition.
Yeah.
I mean, all these sclerotinian corals and also these stilasters.
Depth, then can also
the sediment buildup that we were seeing further down is almost entirely gone. It's pretty well current swept, this flat area.
We do a 15 meter at 300. That would keep him at this.
Oh no, we were just
roughly according to this. Where you
look
it's
at
hard
the
to know
hole.
because where you are, the wall is still the same.
Right. Yeah, that works for me. Maybe as I get over a little bit more. Still at 330 now.
Pilot, this is Watch Lead. Could you just pan out to the left just to see if there are any fish by these overhangs?
Thank you, Bridge.
This is, there. Okay.
There's something up. What is that? Hanging out. Just left of center and just up of center. Looks like a very stable fish sitting there on the. It's just about gone off the left edge of the screen, right middle now. See it? Kind of fish shape. No, it's a coral. It's very deceiving.
So I'm back at 315. Maybe let them get out a little bit and then do that move on maybe 300.
Sounds good.
It looks like there's some fishing line right here. Is this fishing line or a branching
It looked like a branching coral there.
coral right there?
No, I see those two.
Two things, yeah.
I think that's just coral, but take a better look, make sure.
Oh, this isn't, yeah, that looks like an anemone. Above looks like fishing line.
Is
It
it
looks
fishing
like-
line?
I think so. Can we
You can
just
see a
scan
little bit of
above a little of this? Yeah, it's hanging.
Yeah. Might
Yeah,
be.
it looks like it's fishing
Huh.
line.
And a
Yeah, let's
fish.
steer
Oh,
clear of
there's
all
a-
that.
It's a big eye soldier fish. So this is an area where fishermen from the west coast come out and fish some of these deep
Okay.
water
Let me
species
get
like
that moving.
snappers and groupers. And for the snappers, they
Say again?
use these
Maybe do the 300.
vertical long
and,
lines. Yeah, yesterday we saw a couple of
20
the
meters.
weights that they use for these vertical long lines. A lot of times they use rebar to weigh down these lines, especially when there's high currents.
or 30. Maybe 20. We're moving pretty slow with looking at things.
Yeah, okay.
And the fish that they target out here are usually the silk snappers and queen snappers, misty groupers. It's interesting, these little
Pilot.
caves.
Yeah, we're going to move a little bit more north on this move just so you can keep that depth range. So we're doing 300, so just more north. See how it kind of bumps up towards the north? So we're going to try to follow that contour so you can keep this depth range. It feels like if it's getting too shallow where you can't like stay ahead of Stereos and you're having to get too shallow, just let us know. We'll stop that.
Yeah, it looks
Bridge
like
nav.
there's some more fishing line. Be careful, pilot, to your to the left
yeah,
of the
top
screen.
left.
Corals hanging, dangling from it.
Yeah, another ship move, please. We're going to do 20 meters, bearing 300, speed decimal 2 knots. Good copy, thank
So
you.
this
Bridge.
is our first time seeing fishing line on this dive.
Yeah, figure out where it goes and don't.
We saw a lot of
stop driving
fishing
left
line
till you see it.
yesterday.
Just scan real
and
quick towards the left.
off of
Make sure it
Mona,
doesn't come
too.
off the bottom where you're flying. Okay. Yep. Looks good.
So we're at a depth right
You know,
now,
if it had come across and it came off and you were
254
flying
meters.
you could have like
So
tangled yourself in it.
we're heading to the northwest
Yep, looks clear.
along this
So you can
escarpment.
see this nose here. So you want to. We're heading in a direction where you kind of want to go around that nose and into the depth there. Yeah, see, look at the serial screen. You can see how the depth kind of goes up towards the north. Yeah, just follow it around like that. And we're headed. He's facing the direction we're heading right now.
Yeah, I'm actually pointing at just about 300.
So sort of head that way away from him as you get tether. I know it's not, you don't have a lot right now, but
yeah, should be catching up pretty quick.
yeah, we saw that. It doesn't continue on towards the port. Yeah.
Could we snap zoom? There's like a fan in this overhang. It's right now in the middle of the screen. Please, thank you.
Have me take yours? Oh, a crab.
Just check how close you get. You don't want to get too close to that line. You're sneaking in, just so you know. He's catching up with you, so you got a couple seconds.
Actually, well, we're only at 45 right now, so.
Yeah. You might.
This might be a, looks like, yeah, black coral. It looks a little bit different from the fan that we were seeing before because the coloration, but I'm not sure if it's just because it's so small. Yeah. But yeah, this is some type of fan-shaped black coral.
Okay, now we're at 70.
Looks like maybe there's some crab or maybe a squat lobster next to it.
Looks like that may have, maybe still moving on a little bit.
So far on this dive, we've seen high diversity of corals. We've seen
Settled in.
soft corals and black corals and also sclerotinian corals.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah.
A lot of sponges, especially where we started off around 365 meters. They started to kind of thin out in the shallower depth, but you can see